Good evening, everyone. Today I would like to introduce a book series that is not yet complete, but already deserves serious attention. The series is called Consciousness First Education. It is planned as a 4-book work. At this point, 3 volumes have appeared. Book 0, a threshold volume, Book 1, Phenomenon, and Book 2, Theory. The 4th book has not yet arrived, and that matters because this is not a finished system yet. What we have now is the threshold, the phenomenon, and the theory. What remains to be seen is how this theory will be applied without losing the honesty that gave birth to it. So I do not want to introduce this work as a completed doctrine. I want to introduce it as something more interesting than that. A serious attempt to ask whether modern education has begun from the wrong place. Most conversations about education begin with methods, systems, curriculum, performance, assessment, skills, or outcomes. This book series asks a different question. Before we ask how to teach, before we ask what to measure, before we build systems, before we celebrate ability, the book asks, what is the task of education that must not fail? That question is the center of the whole work. And once that question is asked seriously, many familiar answers become unstable. The book argues that modern education has become very skilled at organizing process and system, but not equally skilled at naming the task it is responsible for. It can produce activity. It can produce measurement. It can produce achievement. It can produce ability. But the book asks whether these things are enough. More sharply, it asks whether ability can be trusted when it is not preceded by consciousness. That is the central turn of the work. The book does not begin with ability. It begins with consciousness. But by consciousness, the author does not simply mean awareness in a neurological sense. The word is being used in a deeper educational and moral sense. It means the capacity to face what is real before rushing to manage it. It means admitting ignorance before pretending to possess knowledge. It means accepting responsibility before seeking performance. It means allowing the task to become clear before building the system around it. In this sense, the book's order is not ability first, then responsibility. It is consciousness first, responsibility next, ability after that. That is why I think this work is worth reading. Not because it is already a perfect academic text, it is not. It still needs stronger references, sharper definitions, clearer engagement with existing educational theory, and a more developed method of validation. Anyone looking for a conventional university textbook may find it incomplete. But that is not the most important way to judge this work. The more important question is whether its inner logic is alive. And I think it is. This book is not powerful because it borrows authority from famous thinkers. It is powerful because it tries to reason from first principles. It does not merely say that education should improve. It says that education may be improving the wrong things in the wrong order. That is a much more serious claim. It asks us to consider whether systems can become a way of avoiding responsibility, whether process can hide the absence of task, whether results can make us forget what education was supposed to protect, whether love for a child is enough if that love has not yet clarified what it is responsible for. These are not small questions. And even if a reader disagrees with the answers, the questions are difficult to ignore. For me, the value of this series is that it slows education down at the exact point where modern education usually accelerates. It says, do not rush to reform. Do not rush to design. Do not rush to measure. First, admit what you do not know. First, name the task. First, understand what kind of responsibility education carries. That is why I would describe this series as a pre-academic but serious philosophical framework for education. It is not yet a finished theory in the academic sense, but it is already a meaningful intellectual architecture. It has a spine. It has a question. It has a moral pressure. And it has a logic strong enough to deserve criticism, discussion, and further development. The fourth book will be important. It will need to show whether this consciousness first order can enter practice without becoming just another method, just another system, just another educational slogan. But even before that fourth book arrives, the first 3 volumes already do something valuable. They remind us that education is not only about producing capable people, it is about asking what kind of human being should stand behind that capability. And perhaps more importantly, what kind of consciousness must come before ability, so that ability does not become dangerous, empty, or blind. For that reason, I think this book series deserves to be read, not as a final answer, but as a serious beginning. Thank you.